Hey everyone, welcome back to my number sense series. In this video, we're going to talk about how to square any number from 40 to 60 in your head instantly. Now, this trick is going to be very simple, which is why you can see I have 2 less practice problems than usual, so let's just get right into learning it. Now, like pretty much all our other tricks, it starts with FOIL. So let's FOIL our practice example out. So it's going to be 50 plus 4 times 50 plus 4, right? And when we FOIL this out, this gives us 50 times 50 plus 50 times 4 plus 50 times 4 plus 4 times 4. And now let's see, how many 4s do we have? We have 50 plus 50, which is 100 4s. So it's 50 times 50 plus 100 times 4 plus 4 times 4, which is 2500 plus 400 plus 16. This gives us 2916. But of course, in order to discover the trick, we have to look at the answer. So we ask ourselves, where does our answer come from? Well, if you remember our other videos, it should be quite obvious that the 16 comes from 4 times 4, right? But where does 29 come from? Well, in our addition, 29 came from 25 plus 4. 25 came from 5 squared, 50 squared equals 2500. 5 squared equals 25, and the 400 came from the fact that we had 100 4s. Why did we have 100 4s? Well, we had 50 4s plus 50 4s. The 50 is, of course, the 50, and the 4 is our last digit. So it appears that we would have 100 times 4 because it's 50 and 4 is 54. So 29 is 5 squared plus 4, and 16 is 4 squared. That's where our answer comes from. So with that in mind, let's see if we can do our next example very quickly. 53 squared, let's just do it right now. Our first 2 digits are 5 squared plus 3, 28. And our last digits are 9 squared, 09. Boom, right there, 2809. Now I will FOIL this out real quick, just in case anyone is confused. It's 50 plus 3 times 50 plus 3. This gives us 2500 plus 300 plus 9. So we can see that it is 2809 because we have 2500 plus 300, where the 300 comes from this 3, and we have 9 because it's 3 squared, 2809. Awesome. But that's just for numbers that are greater than 50. Okay, what if our number is less than 50? Because, we are doing numbers from like 40 to 50 as well. Well, if we use FOIL, we'll see that the trick is actually extremely similar. So let's do it. 42 is 50 minus 8. So it's going to be 50 minus 8 times 50 minus 8. And we're going to have 2500 minus 50 times 8 minus 50 times 8 plus 64 minus 50 times 8 minus 50 times 8. That's minus 100 8s. So we have 2500 minus 800 plus 64. And we'll see that this gives us 1764. Now let's stop once again and ask ourselves, where does our answer come from? Well, our answer here comes from, once again, 64 being 8 squared. Okay, well, where did the 8 come from? Notice that the 8 came from the fact that 42 is 50 minus 8. In other words, the number being squared at the end, the number that makes the last 2 digits, is the distance from our original number to 50. For example, here we had 53, the distance from 53 to 50 is 3, which is why we had 3 squared. Here, the distance from 42 to 50 is 8, which is why we had 8 squared. All right, but where did 17 come from? Well, 17 came from 25 minus 8. Okay, well, the 8, of course, comes from this 8 again, but why did we have minus? Well, we had a minus because it was 50 minus 8. We have a minus because 42 is less than 50. So keep that in mind. When we have the number less than 50, we're going to have to do 25 minus the difference. 25 minus 8. So we have 1764. That's how we do that. All right, now that you know that trick, let's try to do this one really quickly. Okay, once again, our first step is going to be to find the difference, and once we find the difference, that's really all we need. Well, what's the difference of 47 and 50? It's 3. Well, the positive difference is 3, that is. The positive difference is 3, so our first 2 digits are going to be 25 minus 3. And our last 2 digits are going to be 3 squared. And we're done. That's it. Now, we have one last example, and you might notice something. This last example, it's not a number from 40 to 60. And all of our tricks so far have relied on the fact that all these numbers are very close to 50. Being very close to 50 makes the calculation very nice because 50 and 50 make 100 and 100 is really, really nice. Well, it's still pretty close to 50, right? 61 is only like 11 from 50, so let's see what happens if we try to apply the trick. Well, we're going to write 50 plus 11 times 50 plus 11. This gives us 2,500 plus 50 times 11 plus 50 times 11 plus 11 times 11. And this gives us 2,500 plus 1,100 plus 121. And this is a sum of 3721. All right, so where does this answer come from? Well, 21 isn't anything squared, but when we did the addition, it wasn't 21, it was 121, and that's the important part, right? If we take the difference from 61 to 50, we get 11, and 11 squared is 121. All right, well, if it's 121, then where did the 100 go, right? We just have 21. Well, of course, the 100, it carried over. It carried over into this. If we just naively applied the trick, we would have written it's 25 plus 11, which is 36. But now we have that extra carried 1 from the 121, which makes it 37, right? It's 3,600 plus 121. And so you can see it carries. And we just have 1 left right here. So really, this trick isn't actually limited to numbers from 40 to 60. It's just that when we have numbers from 40 to 60, there's no carrying. And so it's really like easy to teach and learn and memorize. But if you're ever stuck on something that's maybe, 39 or 62, remember that this is still an option, because really in our head, if we understand what we're doing, if we understand that sometimes we might have to carry, there are a lot more numbers that we can consider close enough. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.